Hello, everyone. My name is Brynn Krug, and I'm the managing editor here at the Northern Star.
And I'm Sarah Rose. I'm a copy editor. And welcome back to The Trend, a Northern Star pop culture podcast.
Each week on The Trend, we talk about a few trending pop culture topics, and then at the end, we rank them from worst to best and decide whether or not we think they're in or out.
Let's get into it. All right, Brynn, how was your Thanksgiving?
Good.
We gotta touch on it. We're back.
Ate so much, and then every single day after that had a plate of leftovers that was equivalent to another Thanksgiving meal. So I had a lot, and it was very good.
I had a lot too. I went home, and you know what I had for the first time? Sweet potato casserole. Dude, that's so good. It's like sweet potato, then it's like a cinnamon rolly flavor, and then it's marshmallows on top. And I didn't think I would like it that much. But no, you guys, speaking of the holidays, we had some pretty big movies come out. And we're going to talk about both of them. But, Brynn, I'm going to let you introduce our first one.
Okay, so as you guys probably know, the second installment in the Wicked series, and this is the last one, right?
This is the last one.
Okay, it's just like a two-parter.
Yeah, part 2.
Wicked for Good just released like last week, and press has been going on with it as well for a while. People are commenting on Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo's, and Michelle Yeoh's weights because they look dangerously thin. Mm-hmm. And you can see old pictures of them and see kind of the progression of how much thinner they've gotten. Like Cynthia Erivo, she used to be like so
pretty fit,
muscular.
and built.
Yeah. And especially like Michelle Yeoh too, like all of them just look like dangerously thin and small. And Ariana Grande is already like an incredibly petite woman. Mm-hmm. And I've seen like people who used to work with her saying like she already looked dangerously small. And now she's just getting smaller. They just look very thin. And then also, like, people have commented on how, like, in the actual movie, their costumes are, like, semi-ill-fitting. Like, there's, like, a wedding dress that Glinda wears, and it has gaps. So people are like, why are these clothes slightly baggy on them if they were custom-made for these actresses?
Oh, no.
You know? So, like, that's another odd thing. And then Glinda, or Ariana Grande, in one of, like, the looks for Glinda, she had these, like, little gems, like, on her shoulders.
Yeah.
But her shoulder, like, her, like, collarbones are, like, sticking out and very visible in a way, like, I have not seen on a person. Like, it looks, you know, kind of concerning. And, yeah, then the little gems, though, they accentuate that. So I've never seen gems in that placement. And again, that is not a bone that shows on the average person.
No.
So I feel like the fact that the, like, costuming team or makeup team decided to do this is, like, they know that she looks that thin, and it's like they are promoting that.
Yeah. It's very icky. People, you know, ever since the Ozempic shots and the GLP-1 shots, which, by the way, I see ads for all the time, which is crazy. Ever since they've been going around, you know, celebrities, of course, having the money they do, they get their hands on them. And people have been noticing that there's just something in the air in Hollywood. And you can tell when, I don't know if this is the case for the Wicked cast, but I know for celebrities that have been using these weight-reducing shots where they just go into it and they don't have a set schedule and they just, I don't know what happened. Maybe they overuse it and then they just get so unnaturally thin where it looks like they're malnourished because they're not eating, because that's what they're injecting themselves with GLP-1s, which reduces there's something in your brain that's reduced, like your hunger.
Yeah.
And so you just don't eat. And it's so obvious.
Yeah.
Because it's just they have that look, and it's so worrying.
Yeah, and it's like people are, you know, commenting on, like, how this is a dangerous trend. You know, unfortunately, body shapes are trends. Like, I remember, you know, like, growing up, it would be like the phrase, like, does this make my butt look big?
Yeah.
Like, had totally different meanings from back in like 2010 versus now. Like back then and like back in the 90s, like a skinnier physique was kind of the beauty standard. And then we saw Kim Kardashian kind of like create a new beauty standard, and now I feel like it switched to be more curvy girls. But unfortunately, you know, we have
We're
like
back.
BBLs, the Brazilian butt lifts.
Yeah.
Like, even though it, like, on the surface level being like, oh yeah, it's healthier to want to have that curvier physique as a goal, it's still having any body type as like a trend and a beauty standard is so harmful. Because yeah, even though it might be like naturally more attainable for a lot of people, again, like, people are getting surgeries to look a certain way. But anyway, now I feel like we're seeing a resurgence of that kind of thin look coming back. I've seen people saying like, oh, well, we shouldn't be talking about this because we shouldn't be talking about people's bodies. And it's like, no, because you criticize, if you see an obese person, you know, people will say, oh, that's not good for their health. They should lose weight. Like, that's, you know, an excuse to comment on people's weights when they're overweight. And it's 100%, it's actually much worse. If someone is overweight, the health consequences are more like long term. Whereas if like they're malnourished, they're like actively like killing their body.
Yeah. And it's not something that, you know, we're observing it for a reason. Because it's very obvious and it's very worrying. And I know health experts are probably saying the same thing. But something just to mention about the resurface of like these skinnier, borderline malnutritious bodies is that I don't know if you were in the Tumblr era, if you used Tumblr from like 2014 to 2017, but if anybody out there did, you guys might know that like EDs were glorified on that platform.
Yeah.
And low-key kind of on Reddit too, because that's when they were in their prime. So I feel like for sure we're seeing a resurgence in that. It's scary.
Yeah, and it's like there will always be, on the internet, there will always be a community for that. Like, unfortunately, like, that's always the case, but it's like, if it is this much at the forefront, it does not need to be normalized. Like, that's why it's like, it's not commenting, it's not criticizing their bodies. It's expressing concern for their safety and also making sure that it is not normalized, because that's going to create like really toxic standards for people.
Yeah. It's sad because all three of these women, Ariana, Cynthia, and Michelle, if you look at before pictures, they were all pretty fit. None of them looked unhealthy. They all had muscle. Even Michelle at I think she's in her 40s, looked great. So people are like, what the heck happened?
I've seen like a lot of people online with eating disorders saying like, yes, I have an eating disorder, or like I've recovered from an eating disorder and that's how I looked and acted when I was sick. And another kind of indicator that people are pointing to as evidence is their moods. Like, we've talked about this with like the press before, like they're just so emotional and like everything is so heightened for them, and it's like they're literally always like crying and like holding each other's hands. Like, it is very odd behavior. And if your body is dying and you know you get emotional, like that's literally like a symptom. And so yeah, their weird moods point to that too. Another unfortunate aspect about eating disorders is they are very competitive. So, like, if a person has an eating disorder and they see someone else, like, it fuels their eating disorder even more because they want to be, like, the best at it. But that's why this environment is, you know, potentially extra harmful, because if both Cynthia, Michelle Yeoh, and Ariana Grande are all suffering from eating disorders, and then they're spending that much time together and on screen together in that high pressure environment and all those red carpets, it's like they are going to, you know, feed into that for each other, and it's just going to continue getting worse and worse. Yeah. And I will say, like, obviously now that this movie is over, we are going to like see kind of new eras from these actresses, and I'm really excited to see Ariana Grande's new era because she
Me
kind of
too.
like, we have seen her transform. Like, we've talked about this before. Like, she switches up, like, like looks vastly different, and like her voice, the voice she uses when she's talking in interviews is not her real voice.
I don't
like I
believe
saw
it.
a clip of her like talking in a normal voice and then like switching to this voice right after.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely like a fake voice, and people always say like, oh, like when will Glinda lose her hold on her? So yeah, I'm excited to see how Ariana Grande changes after not being Glinda anymore.
Me too. Maybe they just got so into this role.
Yeah.
And, like, because I know for Ariana this was her dream role. I know how much this meant to her. So it had to be this set.
Yeah. And a lot of people think like the Wizard of Oz is like cursed because in the
That's
original
right.
Wizard of Oz movie, Judy Garland was treated horribly.
Yeah.
And she was like forced to like have like 15 cups of coffee and 15 cigarettes like a day
Yeah.
in order to stay awake and stay skinny. And so yeah, she was even being basically abused for her weight all when the first movie came out. So yeah, it does seem kind of like a cursed thing, but I know, like, I think it's a well-received movie, but I'm excited for it to be over, and because it's been such like a long-lasting like hype around it.
Yeah, I agree. We're not super big theater kids. Sorry to any Wicked fans out there, but I will be seeing the second one.
Yeah.
I'm excited. All right, for our second movie, I am so excited for this. I just saw this last night with my boyfriend. It was a very last-minute thing, but I was like, you know what? I really want to see this movie. And that is none other than Zootopia 2, which may become Disney's most successful franchise. For a long time, they had thought that they had found that with Frozen, but Frozen 2 didn't do super well. Also, Moana did really well. Moana 2 didn't do super well. But Zootopia 2, let's talk about it. I've been waiting for this one for a while. And their opening, which they opened, I think, this past weekend. But it opened in the U.S. with $158 million. And globally, it brought in $560 million. And most of that was from China. And I saw a lot of people on the internet saying, like, Chinese people on the internet saying, like, Zootopia is everywhere here. Like, in Shanghai, it's everywhere. People love it. And nobody expected it to do this well. China secured $272 million of that. And also Zootopia 2 breaks the record for the fourth biggest opening movie, like, ever in Hollywood.
Ooh.
Because it's Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War. I can't remember the third one. Oh,
probably
Avatar, and then Zootopia.
That's insane.
It's the biggest opening for an animated film ever.
Yeah,
and it is so good.
I think this also, well, this one's a sequel, but I guess it goes to show like Disney should continue making like good like original stuff versus like remakes of everything.
Yes.
Because like when the first Zootopia movie came out, like that was huge because it was like we haven't really seen a story like this, and it's talking animals. It's a good kids movie, but it was good. Like it had a lot of fun lines. Like I think it was obviously a well-made movie. And then, but that came out so long ago. I think it was like 2016.
9 years? Wow.
Yeah, 2016. So 9 years ago. So I feel like it's just such a classic movie. Also because I feel like people always joke about like Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps. And
I was that for Halloween.
Yeah, and it's a good like couple's costume too.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was 9 years ago. And so being the sequel coming out now and it being so successful just shows that like people didn't forget about it.
Yeah, and people were definitely like waiting for this, so I can see why it did well.
Yeah, and also another thing Zootopia does is, you're right, it is talking animals, which Disney and Pixar do a lot. But it's so interesting because they tackle real world problems in a kids movie. Like the first one was, using fear as a tactic to
and,
put the blame on different cultures.
Negative stereotypes.
Stereotypes. And in the second one, it's all about like stolen land. And they present it in such a good way, where the second one honestly was better than the first.
Really?
I think so. And that's very rare to say about a sequel, because usually the number 2s don't do well. But a lot of people are saying that online because the storyline was just so good and it was really funny. They know their audience. They had a lot of adult jokes in there. Mm-hmm. Some of them were a bit freaky, I'm not gonna lie. But it was just so good, and I loved it. And I would see it again in theaters.
Have you seen the Zootropolis thing?
No.
Okay, so because of like trademark issues in some countries in the UK, it's called Zootropolis. But people were feeling like it was like a Mandela effect thing because they're like walking and like this person was like at a movie theater and there's like a big poster and it says Zootropolis and they're like, what's Zootropolis?
Oh my god.
And then in an interview, I'm like, I feel like he should not have messed this up, but Jason Bateman, who plays Nick Wilde, said Zootropolis instead of Zootopia. But I'm like, how do you not even know your own movie's name? Because it is Zootopia, and because he's not from the UK, he's American.
Yeah, he is American.
Yeah, so I thought that was really funny. But Zootropolis.
But if we're comparing Zootopia to Wicked for Good, Wicked only opened with $92 million.
Yeah.
And Zootopia opened with $158 million. It's crazy.
I mean, Wicked does have a very, like, obviously wide popularity, and I think it's, like, a lot more people are into it and want to see it than I thought, just because it's, like, it's a theater movie, but it's still not, like, if you're not a fan of musicals, which some people aren't, some people hate musicals, you're not going to see it.
Good chunk of people
also, it's a very long movie. Like, that's kind of an arduous task to go see, whereas I feel like Zootopia's, one, it's super popular. Two, it's like, okay, I'm going to go with my kids. Like, I'm going to take my family. Yeah. Like, it's great for families, or just, hey, do you want to watch something? Let's go see this. Like, I feel like it's less commitment to go see it. Yeah. So that's why everyone is.
It reaches a broader audience, for sure. And also, in my theater, there were no kids. There was, there was one kid. But it was, like, the parents and the older siblings and everything. But no, it was mostly adults. Zootopia is a great hit. Brynn, you should see it, and then we can talk about it. You actually need to see it before Wicked.
Yeah, I will.
And AMC's also selling the little popcorn buckets.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you know what I'm excited for?
What?
Marty Supreme Christmas Day.
Me too. You guys.
Marty Supreme Christmas Day.
We'll talk about that on our next podcast back.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think we'll talk about the Oscars.
Oh.
I think the noms will be out by then.
Well, stay tuned. This will be our last episode for this year and the semester before we leave for winter break. But we will be returning for one final episode.
One more, guys. Give me one more.
Next year in January. But
the rankings.
The ranking? All right.
Oh, well.
Oh, obviously.
I mean, this is very
Wicked
obvious.
Is out. Like, not the movie, but the potentially, dangerous, harmful things going on behind the scenes of the movie. Because, I think there's so much evidence, like, pointing to the fact that they are sick.
Yeah.
And, like, people with eating disorder specialists are looking at them and saying, yes, these are all the signs. Like, you can literally see them and see that they look, like, emaciated. Like, it's just crazy. So, I don't know. I think it'll be good. Like, they're nearing the end of, like, press stuff. And I think they just need to take a step back and a step away from each other. Because I also don't think, like, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo's friendship is very healthy. Like, they're just so all over each other and so emotional.
I know. I do and I don't. Like, I genuinely feel like they're such best friends that they just feed off each other, like, in a negative manner.
And it's also weird, though, like, Cynthia Erivo, like, has either, like, a wife or a girlfriend. Oh, and so it's, like, seeing them, like, be, like, all, like, touchy, it seems weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully, like, I mean, I'm sure they'll remain friends, but I think not being constantly in contact would be healthy for the two of them.
Yeah. Didn't Heath Ledger kill himself because he method acted too much for Joker?
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean,
Or
I
was
think
that
he had
part of
other.
it?
Yeah, it's like he obviously had other mental health, issues besides that. But I think, yeah, that like just
Yeah,
like
guys.
made his mental health horrible because just being in that mindset. But that leaves number 1 in Zootopia.
Zootopia 2.
I will see it, and yeah, I think it's like a good, fun movie.
You're gonna love it.
Are we getting a Zootopia 3?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think they should?
Yeah. I mean, I think they should, and if they take their time with it, like they did this one,
Yeah.
I think it'll be just as successful. And also, they kind of teased it at the end, where it's like another case and whatnot. And apparently, there was a post-credits scene, which I didn't sit for, and I have to actually find out if that's true. But if it is, I'll tell you.
Okay.
And you can let me know what it was. But yeah, there'll be a third one for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, oh, but not a fourth one. That'll be doing too much. But thinking about, like, Despicable Me.
Or Toy Story.
Like, yeah, those are solid. Again, it's, like, it's nice not having it be, like, a like, with, like, I mean, I guess it works, like, with Moana. But Moana, like, let's say Moana, for example, with a princess like that, like, you can only really have, like, 2 movies or something. Like, you don't need 4 movies about one person. But it's like, yeah, Zootopia is more of, like, a franchise with more characters and more fun.
It is.
So, yeah, I feel like it's nice. Like, I could definitely see it, turning into, like, the Despicable Me or the Toy Story. Like, it's definitely popular enough. All right. Well, have a good winter break, everyone. And we will see you next year.
One more episode. Bye, guys.
Bye.